Is World Heritage status a badge of honour or a drag on progress? As Istanbul's status hangs in the balance, we look at new and old faces of the city and ask, what does the accolade actually mean to the average traveller?
Also on this week's programme,
I'm in the south of the country trekking the Lycian Way, where sun, sea and history merge for one of the world's best walks.
And I'll be here with my regular rundown of not to miss events for July.
Istanbul was originally granted its wish for its historic areas to be included on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1985. Sites on this list are deemed to be of outstanding universal value for the whole of humankind, and not just for the country in which they are found. But how much does this chime with the ordinary visitor to Istanbul?
I think it would certainly add to the interest of actually going to the place. I mean, Istanbul offers so much. The fact that it has these historical sites certainly adds to the appeal. The fact that it's been given that status as a World Heritage Site certainly adds even more, yeah.
I've been reading about the Ottoman empires and I've been reading the Arabian Nights all my life. I was a child, and then it didn't really affect that. I mean, UNESCO, I found that out after I bought The Lonely Planet, but not really, not really.
It's very important. I mean, heritage is one thing, but the maintaining is another thing. So you always want to see a maintained heritage rather than just seeing their heritage.
No, not necessarily. I mean, you know, being from America, our historical contribution to the world is pretty minimal by comparison.
The specific body deciding Istanbul's fate, the World Heritage Committee, meets on July the 2nd. And this is an example of what's causing so much concern. Timber housing from the Ottoman period, abandoned in the 1960s and either left to rot or deliberately demolished. But are these buildings in the Süleymaniye district really as valuable as the mosques and city walls that tourists jostle to see?
He is also essential part of the heritage, of the way how the people lived here. The people who built those mosques, who defended those walls. While our intention was to really save the houses, it was almost practically impossible to do.
All is not lost, however. While Ali may not have had much support from the authorities, he has found an unlikely ally in this man.
Mainly the Greek areas.
Steen Gunnar Somerset arrived in Istanbul from Norway in 2005 and vowed to buy and restore two of these buildings. Having negotiated the bureaucratic hurdles, this teacher of classical studies found himself pumping all his personal savings into the project.
I'd like to see that this is returned into normal residences, that middle class, lower class, I mean a mixed community can live here, like it was in the older days. And I want to live here myself, definitely. And I also hope that some of the poorer neighbours will be able to stay here. I mean, those who like to stay here can be a resource for the area rather than a problem. But I'm afraid that the municipality will want to re-gentrify the area and kick out the poorer neighbours.
The Roman and Byzantine city walls in old Istanbul are one of the 4 core areas here that are also under scrutiny. 2 years ago, David Mitchellmore was one of 5 international experts who came to inspect the quality of repair and reconstruction to the walls. So disturbed were the panel by what they saw, they issued an ultimatum: sort out the problems or face losing World Heritage status altogether.
The mission in 2006 thought that the work was so distractive that all work should stop immediately until the responsible people had received training.
It was that bad?
Yes.
But the experts say being on the World Heritage List is essential to Istanbul's tourist offer.
World Heritage status has an unparalleled track record for stimulating economic development. And you can see it's very prestigious, but it's also economically valuable.
While Turkey has long been a popular, reasonably low-cost destination for sun and sea seekers, Istanbul, its capital, has punched way below its weight. 1.3 million visitors a year, staying for an average of just a day and a half, compared to 15 million in Venice, for instance, staying for a lot longer. One big boost should arrive in 2010, when the city becomes European Capital of Culture. So, do officials here recognise the value of World Heritage status when it comes to maximising tourist numbers?
Partly yes, and we respect them. Actually, we carefully listen to them, and we are going to try to do our best for both Istanbul and the world.
If you lost that status, what would that mean?
I don't believe in that. There's no chance for this. Istanbul is one of the most important parts of the UNESCO list, and we will keep it in the list, and we will be trying to make its position better and better.
Amidst all the squabbling about conserving the heritage here, it's easy to overlook the rapid gentrification and modernisation that's happening in this city. And just like other aspects of contemporary Turkish culture, it's playing a vital part in making Istanbul vibrant and very much 21st century. This, say designers and architects, is the future of Istanbul.
Today, modern Istanbul wrestles with some very modern issues. The compromises needed to join the EU, whether to allow pious women to wear religious headscarves at universities, how to enforce the new smoking ban, and how to best spend a sunny weekend afternoon in the Şişli Beyoğlu district. The latest Quality of Living survey places Istanbul 114th out of 215 world cities, way behind other European rivals. And that's not reflective of its magnificent heritage, nor is it of the incredible flair and potential of its designers and architects. The much-praised Istanbul Modern Contemporary Art Museum is helping to change international perceptions, and its creators say concerns about preserving the city's past shouldn't create obstacles for its future prosperity. This is the latest flagship project.
This center is one of the first ones which are used mixed use as a mixed use project. You have the office, you have shopping, you have open areas, you have housing, residential areas. It's everything together. I think that's the future of the cities. And I think today's tourists want to see how is the normal Istanbul life. And we are living there. So
they want to live with the citizen of the city,
yeah,
which is giving more energy, more synergy and everything.
Political wrangling has already frozen an ambitious development from these architects in the port area, but heritage advisors say history and progress needn't be incompatible.
Well, World Heritage status is not there to stop development. Of course, the local inhabitants have a right to a better lifestyle and to be better off. And World Heritage status can help this enormously by stimulating economic growth. But it just means that development has to be well planned. It's not just a matter of stopping development, it's planning development.
There's no doubt the kudos of World Heritage status is important to the city, even as it looks to the future. A negative decision on this will be felt as much in symbolic terms as commercial ones. The hope here must be that the last-minute feats of escapology displayed by Turkey's national football team recently can be replicated by its tourist industry. Time now for a look at what's making news in the world of travel. British nationals in the United Arab Emirates have been warned there's now a high risk of a terror attack there. Travel advice from the UK Foreign Office says terrorists might be planning indiscriminate attacks in places frequented by expatriates. Unlike neighbour Saudi Arabia, the UAE has had no major terrorism incidents. The first planes carrying Chinese tourists into the United States have landed. Before now, the US only issued student, business or family visas to the Chinese. However, in December, the two countries signed an agreement which changed all that. And a tiny British airline that boasts just one plane has been named one of the 4 best carriers in the world by UK consumer magazine Which. Palm Air, which flies from Bournemouth Airport, was rated ahead of global brands such as British Airways and Virgin Atlantic, thanks to its very personal service, which includes a member of staff who greets every passenger to make sure the seating plan she drew up on her kitchen table the night before suits everyone.
Well, stay with us here on Fast Track, because coming up after the break,
Amandeep tries trekking Turkish style through the Lithian Way, and we have our monthly roundup of events taking place around the globe.
So don't go away.